share the news. Well, in some ways, not excited to share this news, but I do see Geneva on, Geneva Pedal. Good to see on. First person to join the stream. Please do smash that like. Do chat in with where you're from. Don't kid yourself for a second. They're fully committed to the destruction of America and the promotion of communism, or maybe we should call it communism, as it were. Folks, this is wild. They have recharged Donald Trump out in Washington, D.C. Jack Smith has gone after him again, okay? So this is big. I want to get this news out to you so you know what's going on, but I want to share something really wild with you. I'm working on another video, and just to show you how crazy it actually is. This clip will be in this video I'm working on, but watch this. See if I can get this up.
If someone were to violate the law and not certify the election at the local level, we will come for you. So any local certifier thinking of skirting the law and not certifying the vote, don't even think about it, because we'll get
you. We'll get you. First off, it's juvenile. It looks like she's talking to a kid, a little toddler, and then she comes off with this threatening thing. Don't even think about it. Okay? What? Are you kidding me? Do you guys, anyways, good to see y'all on. I see people from Idaho, Michigan, and everything on. That's what they're up to. That's Jocelyn Benson. That's the Secretary of State of Michigan, okay? But now, on to the big news about the Trump issue that's taking place. It's a superseding indictment has been returned against Donald Trump. A superseding indictment returned against Donald Trump. A Washington, D.C. grand jury has returned a superseding indictment, this out of Raw's story, against Donald Trump for his involvement in the attempts to overthrow 2020. Who was trying to overthrow 2020? This is interesting. Anyways, superseding indictments typically mean that the charges or definitions differ. As the Justice Department defines, if an indictment is dismissed because of legal defect or grand jury irregularity, the government may return a new indictment within 6 months of the date of dismissal or within the original limitation period, whichever is later. According to Georgia constitutional law professor Anthony Michael Kreis, the superseding indictment is the special counsel's attempt to adhere to the Supreme Court's presidential immunity decision without showing the prosecution's cards in an evidentiary hearing, aka mini trial. Jack Smith is working to preserve his case and move expeditiously. Jack Smith is not going quietly, folks. He is still trying to take out President Trump. I'm going to give you just another little piece on this. So special counsel Jack Smith has charged former President Donald Trump, okay, in the superseding indictment. And here is the Justice Department spokesperson, exactly what they said. Today, a federal grand jury in the District of Columbia returned a superseding indictment, ECF number 226, charging the defendant with the same criminal offenses that were charged in the original indictment, a justice spokesman said Tuesday. The superseding indictment, which presented to a new grand jury that had not previously heard evidence in this case, reflects the government's efforts to respect and implement the Supreme Court's holdings and remand instructions, the spokesperson said. Trump last August pleaded not guilty to federal charges of undertaking a criminal scheme to overturn 2020 in an effort to subvert democracy and remain in power. So this is obviously a developing story. People, this just dropped. I mean, literally just dropped. And you need to understand how desperate they are, okay? This, again, all of these moves are not showing strength on the Democratic Party. They're showing panic, okay? And what I mean by that is your best hand is typically not your hand that's done in the open. So like imagine you're playing a game of poker, right? Got your cards dealt out. You're looking at them. Oh, wow. It looks like, all right, I'll up the pot, whatever, right? You wouldn't just go flip your cards over and go, yeah, all in. Because at that point you realize that the person is all in because of their winning hand, or in this case, because of their losing hand. They're bluffing because they continue to lose, Okay. Now, it's interesting. Somebody said it wasn't a grand jury if they're the same players as before. No, it's a different grand jury. But here's the thing. It's the same charges. It's the same criminal offenses that were charged in the original indictment. So superseding indictments, again, as I read to you before, and I'm going to go back to that just to remind you guys, a superseding indictment, okay, is an indictment. If an indictment is dismissed because of legal defect or grand jury irregularity, the government may return a new indictment with 6 months of the date of dismissal or within the original limitation period. The legal defect is still there. It's still the same legal defect, okay? Yes, and Jack Smith is unconstitutionally appointed. We learned that in Florida. Now that'll run up to the Supreme Court. Jack Smith is not going to win this. I'm going to just make a bold prediction right now. Jack Smith is not going to win this. But imagine the difficulty this puts Trump through to constantly be defending himself against frivolous legal attacks, okay? No, they say they want it in front of a more favorable judge. No, it already was in front of the favorable judge, people. Okay, you got to go back on this. The history on this is it was in front of the favorable judge. They were getting the rulings they wanted to. The Supreme Court came down with the ruling on presidential immunity, which then off-railed their case. Okay, so they already had a favorable judge. They lie, and they can't stop lying. It's just part of their nature, okay? And I guess, when you look at all of this and you understand everything that's on the line, I mean, just look at who Trump is bringing on his team. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr. RFK Jr. has long been suspicious of the federal government because he feels that they assassinated his relative, okay? It's not his uncle, right? So, I mean, this is, they're scared. They're scared. And that's why I say they're showing their cards. They're showing their hand. It's not their best hand when they're showing their hand. Don't ever forget that. So don't be freaking out about this, okay? So, that's what's going on out there right now. And again, for those who just jumped on, this is Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. I'm going to go back on this. I'm going to get this for you so you guys can just see this. Okay? This is what she has said. Tell me they're not worried about Michigan. And watch how just disgusting she is. Wait, hold on. I'm going to get maximum volume. Maximum volume reached.
If someone were to violate the law and not certify the election at the local level, we will come for you. So any local certifier thinking of skirting the law and not certifying the vote, don't even think about it because we'll get
you. Don't even think about it. Children, behave. Okay? Well, what is she talking about? So local election officials have to certify and say that it's certifiable. So, in other words, no matter what happens, they're supposed to just certify it, or Jocelyn Benson's going to come after him. Corner time for her. That's right. We need peace. Corner time for you, Jocelyn. Anyways, it's nuts. That's going to be in my next upcoming video. I did finally release an upload today, people. So there is an upload. It's on Kamala Harris. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, I encourage you to do so. Put a bit of time into that, pulled a bunch of different clips for you. It's a very shareable video. Please share it. It's one that can, you have to start controlling the narrative. And the media is doing such a good job of running cover for Kamala. We're going to just stop that running cover. So I'll be doing more videos here before the election, just to get that out to you so you can share that stuff. So again, please do support the sponsor, MyPillow, mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack. Big savings over there right now, folks. I love y'all. Peace out.